Let me freak the funk in my laid-back style. I ain't a criminal, I'm known as the rap general. And you don't want to step to my squad, we gon' blast you on your knees like you're praying to God. So you ain't gotta listen to acknowledge my diction. I'll take your history and turn your facts into fiction. So listen, cause you don't want to cross me on my mission. Unless you want your mother learning that her son is missing. I give you problems that Einstein couldn't manage. Don't try to be a critic, I'll leave you critically damaged. Cause I walk bearing the mark of a savage. The skin of a low-class farmer, but living lavish. I'm a swell fellow, the females say hello. I take off their clothes, but leave on the stilettos. Furious low, I got that furious flow. It's so hot, I make them lesbians get curious though.
My name is Donita.
My name is Ann Dela Cruz.
My name is Arlo.
I'm Aiko.
So my name is Ansel.
I'm a spoken word artist.
I write.
I dance.
I mix music.
I dance.
One of the reasons why I love spoken word, poetry, and creative writing in general is because it's what I love to do. It's my passion. I find it as a way to express myself. It allows me to voice my opinion and to share how I feel with others.
I see it as an art form to share a message with the audience, whether it be something that's conscious or I could just spit about anything, about like just random stuff. It doesn't matter. It's just a way for me to express myself in my mood at the time.
And I guess that's how I just found myself enjoying it. That's why I do it, and that's why I love to do it, because it just makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm doing something positive for myself.
The reason I do it, I just do it for fun, and I just like the whole idea of mixing music that you know, and basically the whole idea of when you mix it, you show it to your friends, and then they all get like, oh, that's so cool, that's something pretty cool. Or I honestly think it's fun, and it's like a good hobby to do.
It's a way to kind of just release stress. Like, I forget about all work and school and all the problems I have in life. Because whenever I'm in the studio and turn on the music, I'm literally just in my own, it's a different world.
It's sad to say that my parents have only watched me perform once. They're like, oh, what is that? Is that rapping without music? Or what do you consider it, and if it's still art? And that to me really hurt, because it's something I invested so much time in. And it's actually real. All the feelings I write are real.
They're indifferent to what I do in my spare time, whether it's writing, rapping, going out, recording music. It doesn't matter to them as long as I stay true to myself.
It's hard to really give 100% into my passion, into my hobby, because I always have to think about what my parents want and what making them proud, or almost kind of hiding it from them. And yeah.
My parents were still stuck in the whole values of being Asian, being Filipino. I still had a curfew, and then they wanted me to study and be good, because they wanted me to be successful financially, basically. And they would be really strict on me, like, oh, I couldn't go out with my friends. Oh, I'll have to do study. Oh, when I play, I can't watch TV during the weekdays, or probably an hour or so. But
It's very successful, rather than me just doing what I love to do, which is dance, as a career. So I was taught to be the higher person and be a doctor, nurse, and that's what my mom taught me, and that's how I was affected by it. And when I came to college, she didn't agree with what I love to do, my hobbies. Career-wise, they would never support me. Hobby, they totally see that I love doing it, so of course they will support me no matter what. We conform to be doctors, nurses, lawyers. I already had a career set for me. As my mom, she told me I need to be a nurse, and I feel like that's a struggle for every Filipino American, because I feel like they're set back of actually what they love to do, and they're going what their parents think is better for them.
I identify myself as a Filipino American, or if I want to be very specific, I'd say American Filipino, because I was born in America, and then I still share those Filipino values in myself, physically and both, in a sense, kind of with values, because I feel like when I grow up, when I have kids, I'd still be strict on them. I'd want them to be successful in some way, but at the same time I also want them to have fun.
I'm not just Filipino, I'm Japanese too, so I would identify myself as Filipino, Japanese, and American.
I would say I'm Filipino American. I was born here in the States, and I was raised under the Filipino culture. My parents raised me with Filipino values, Filipino traditions, but I grew up surrounded by the American culture.
I was born in the Philippines, so I'm very heavily involved in the customs, and American customs or culture is my second culture, but I'm not really into it, so yeah.
Growing up, I didn't have that mindset wanting to be lighter. I mean, yeah, watching movies, everyone would be lighter skinned. You would never see a yellow or brown person. But with growing up with hip hop and seeing who is popular there, within that culture, your skin is darker. That's what helped me take pride in my identity, my Filipino background.
Filipinos are seen as the Asians that think they're black. They're a part of a community that technically or historically has a struggle with their own identity. So they adopt multiple different identities to find a sense of belonging.
Another struggle is staying connected to the culture. The language is another struggle. It's becoming very unnecessary. So I guess most Filipino kids don't see that they have to learn the Filipino language.
The whole identity of rising to the top, basically. It's a struggle for us to get our way to the top, even though we have the skills and abilities more than other people. Like those role models I said earlier, they fought hard for it.
So I feel that dance, writing, singing, poetry is a way for Filipinos to voice their opinions.
Why I fell in love with dance, pretty much why I fell in love with hip hop. It's pretty much a journey.
It gives people a chance to step outside of themselves, so they don't have to worry about social pressure or what people think of them, because when you step in the studio, you turn on the music, you're putting on a character, and that's not you, So it empowers them because it gives them a chance to be something else. It gives them a character. It gives them a chance to say something really thought-provoking. So I think that's how it empowers people.
It reminds me where I came from. I may not be doing it forever, but I could always look back on my past projects to show that, this was a time in my life that I had a lot of fun. And it's also a time in my life where I grew a lot, especially during the curbside days.
It's all fun and games for me, but it's also the way of expression and how I do it as well. It'd be a cool dream to honestly do this full time and actually learn how to produce and all that, because that's what I'm willing to learn. But I work full time at my job right now, and then I have other things to do. And then when it comes to DJing, it's I would average 4 to 5 hours a week just to practice, and I feel like that's not enough. I feel like I could honestly explore myself more. So one of my main goals is to pay my dues when it comes to mixing and actually learn how to DJ vinyl. I mean, we're still, teetering our way up to doing stuff, but then in order to do that, we're diving our way down to all the knowledge and education that has been used within the whole DJ culture type of thing, and that's what I really want to do, because I honestly want to pay my dues, and hopefully by the time and when I know I have that experience, I would want to consider myself a DJ.
I'm on top of the world that I never knew I'd be living in. I swear this kingdom was only in the books they be giving in. Little kids and they stay dreaming. Destroy the desire to be at the top of the tiers, cause your enemy can catch you there and beat you oh so easily. I swear I never chased my dreams so persistently.
I feel like there's not a definition of what hip hop is, but I feel like
people live and breathe, eat and sleep hip hop.
It's a lifestyle, it's an entire community. A lot of people come around together in the name of hip hop just to share it with each other, whether it's through the form of the 4 elements, breaking, or b-boying, DJing, emceeing, and graffiti.
It's a way of life, a way of being.
The word hip hop has been saturated throughout the media to the point where it doesn't really mean hip hop anymore. There's a rapper named Nas. He basically labeled his album "Hip Hop Is Dead." All of his lyrics and stuff are basically all about how the media has taken over and then saturate the word hip hop. It's really different nowadays, because when they actually make music that's actually hip hop in ways of expressing who they are and whatnot, that's not as popular as stuff where people rap about making money and having sex with a ton of girls that they don't know, and you know, even there's times where they talk about rape. They're trying to normalize something like that within their music, and then next thing you know, you have kids thinking it's okay to do that stuff, but it's not. And also about doing drugs. They want to feel as cool as them, so that's why I don't like how rap music is being termed as hip-hop nowadays, and I think it's honestly annoying. But other than that, the real definition of hip-hop is just expressing yourself through any different style, whether it's music or through visual art or anything like that. I still believe there's a definition of that.
It's not just music like what a lot of people think it is.
It doesn't matter. Hip-hop brings a whole community together, and it allows everyone to share their artistic views and artistic values with one another.